What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, you guys. We are continuing the series, guys. Built Not Bought. If you guys remember, Built Not Bought, cars that inspire me, but not even better though, people that inspire me. They're actually out here driving these things and doing what they're doing with them. This one is actually a very special one. When I first saw this thing, I want to say it was at either Portland or LS Fest. I cannot recall, but I've seen it a few times. But better yet, the driver behind this thing actually inspires me a little bit. And the kid, man, he is young. This guy, he is motivating, inspiring, all that because of what he's doing at the ages. I don't even know his age, but I know he's a lot younger than me. Nice. But he is doing his thing. But this thing is a bad, and I'm not even a Ford guy, you guys. You guys know that. You know the channel. We don't think we've ever had a Ford on the channel. We do usually GM, and we've had a Mopar on there, but this thing is bad to the bone. As a matter of fact, let me introduce you to Connor. This is the driver, the owner, and even the builder of this thing. Connor, what up, big dog?
Howdy.
How you doing?
Connor, 19 years old out of Reno, Nevada, and this is my F100 called Scrappy.
Oh man, you guys can see it. As you can tell, man, this thing has a patina look that like just no other. It looks so freaking good. The patina, you guys, I mean, down to the rust. He's got a bunch of actually rust spots that are like almost glorified. It's pretty amazing. Connor, tell us what you got going underneath the hood for one. Let's start there.
So under the hood, we have a junkyard at 5.3 out of a 02 Tahoe. It's got 180,000 miles on it. And we built it in-house, Hunked Out Racing. It's got Texas speed internals, and it's got Edelbrock ProFlow 4 system, and as you guys can see, a giant V3 Vortex supercharger.
So what are you running as far as suspension goes? Let's start there as well.
Suspension, we got the full QA1 hookup. It's a bolt-on to the frame kit, so it's full front to back QA1. It's their 5 to 7 drop kit.
Still stock chassis then?
Yeah, stock chassis. It's just a full bolt-on to the frame. We did our own frame stiffening in the back.
I noticed one thing when I first saw this truck, you guys. I wouldn't call it cheating, but he's got an advantage on us. He's running an actual steering rack down there, a nice little steering rack. Who makes that thing for this thing? Or is that just like some universal kit that you guys made to work?
QA1 actually makes the kit. It's actually for an 81 Camaro.
81 Camaro,
Yeah. So they make the rack for it, and then if you're looking here, we have a Howie steering quickener. So that makes it to where the steering ratio is really tight. So like on road course or even autocross, I'm very minimal with the steering wheel. You don't have to turn it hardly.
I like that, yeah. Minimize the input and the motion when you're out there driving, because timing is everything. You already know.
We made our own, just right into the bed, we made our own frame stiffening. So it ties from the frame down there into the cab and inside the truck. Goes to the floorboards and then across the whole bottom.
Is everything welded into the frame?
Yep, yeah, it's all welded into the frame underneath the truck.
No, that definitely adds some nice, good roll resistance there as well. Tighten everything up as well.
Yep.
Now, I see you got a little sauce back here. Tell us.
You looked under my hood?
It's about the little extra sauce you got going on back here.
Yeah, that's our water methanol injection system. Since we don't have an intercooler for the supercharger, we'd rather run methanol injection just because it gives us a nice cold charge off everything.
That's cool, cool. Yeah. So, what do you got for tranny wise? What are you running under this thing?
Tranny, it's a little bit of an odd combo. The whole motor and tranny that is in this came out of a drag Jeep that we built. So the tranny is a 2-speed power glide. So everyone kind of dings it and they're not a big fan of it, but for autocross and road course, it works really good. And my first gear works for autocross, and I use second gear for road course.
Damn, wow. That actually probably saves you a lot of shifting time.
I can just focus on driving the most.
That's not a bad idea. I would have never thought to put a power glide in something like that. That's pretty neat. Now, what rear end do you have under this thing? Got a Ford 9-inch, I'm guessing?
Yep, we got a 9-inch. We powder coated it. It's same color as the roll bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9-inch rear end. That's all pretty similar.
I see you got the gas tank in the back. Nice fuel cell going on back here.
Got a void welding. We stuffed it as far back as we could. We always keep it full, so we just keep a lot of weight in the back. That's the same thing with these bars. They're full of lead to put some weight in the back of the truck.
Oh wow! So just to actually put to keep some weight down, so you can actually hook them up.
Yep.
I like it. I like it. That's awesome, man.
18-inch rotors and 6-piston calipers in the front.
All Willwood I'm looking at. Yep, running Willwood. Those wheels look familiar, huh? Those wheels, those rockets.
Wheels,
you can't go wrong with them, man. They're so great for the budget, man. I love them too.
Yeah.
Very budget friendly, and they're great wheels from what I see. I mean, you use the hell out of them. I mean, like I said, when I first saw him, dude, and I was like, he's doing what in this truck? And I was blown away, man. This thing moves, scoots, and buggies, but him as a driver as well is actually motivating as well. But Connor, so when you started this process, this build, what would you say was the one thing you wish you would have knew before going into it?
Before I went into it, I wish that I knew how big of brakes I needed. Last year, I struggled all year with brakes. Every race the only race we went to that it didn't fail was in Portland. It was the very first race of the season, and every race after that, we had brake failure.
Yeah, I know.
One after another after another.
You're right, brakes are definitely a must out here. Yeah. The amount of stress and everything that you put underneath, and the weight. I mean, what does this thing weigh actually?
It weighs 3550.
Oh wow, holy smokes, this thing is lighter than my Chevelle. my Chevelle is right under 4 grand, or 4,000 I should say, and it's like 39 and change or something, like, now that we added an oil cooler and stuff like that. But that's amazing. Yeah. So one last question for you, man. If there was something that you can give to the guys that are starting this at home, or trying to go in this direction, or even just have a project at home, what's something that you wish you knew, or you can tell them going into the project, or something to expect or not to expect, and kind of go from there?
So I try and tell people when they start a project, I like to work my way backwards. I like to build a rear end that can hold the power, and then you want a drive shaft and transmission that can hold the power, and then you want to work on motor, and then if you have all that, you might have some not so great suspension, so then you're going to want to work on suspension and brakes after that. You kind of want to go backwards with the build instead of lowering it and putting brakes on it, but it's still a turd, you know?
Yeah, I know. You know what's funny is I get a lot of that. I get a lot of questions too on the YouTube channel, on Instagram and stuff like that. Hey, I want to add a Vortec blower. And I'm like, people don't understand. You don't understand, but it's like, as soon as you add one thing, a power adder, especially a power adder, you gotta bolt, basically you gotta boogie all the way down the line from the transmission to the rear end to the brakes, because you're going that much faster, that much more torque. And that's the one thing that people don't realize. They just want, we'll throw a blower on it, call it good. And before you know, you're on the side of the road. Either you ain't got no brakes, the transmission's blown up, or you grenaded the rear end.
That's exactly what we did. We went out to Portland and we didn't have it supercharged then, and the brakes worked perfect there. And then the next track we went to, we put the supercharger on it, and it had not nearly enough brakes for the power.
No, you're right. You hit it on the head right there. So, Connor, if these guys want to hook up with you, man, where can they find you on Instagram, YouTube? Tell us where you at.
You can find me almost anywhere. It's called Hunked Out Racing.
Hunked Out Racing.
Trash to Badass. Right there.
Trash to Badass. I like it, you guys. We'll put his stuff down in the description below, but make sure you guys check him out, man, and give him a follow, because this truck, man, is it super inspiring. Ford or not, this thing is bad freaking ass. And like I said, him as a driver and as a person, man, has been awesome to have in this freaking industry. But you guys, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell for notifications. You guys already know. Stay wrenching.